Hello, 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 crossroads witches and other interesting magical beings. Woo, springtime, woo, spring cleaning, woo, use a broom. And that is what this video is about. Let me get a little comfy because I got something to tell y'all. I done went down the rabbit hole. I want to start with, I love brooms. Magical, sweeping, beautiful energy, global folklore, they're amazing. And I was wanting to do some research. I wanted to find out more about this broom. And someone had given me a book, and this is very rare I ever call anyone out, and I am not calling out the entirety of this book, nor am I calling out the author. I actually like this author. I really do. And I thought about this before I posted, but then I thought, you know, I am going to post this one. All right. The Witch's Broom. I'm not going to get all up into that name and book. I just want to flash it a little bit because what I really got dismayed with was the Eurocentric history that was presented to me. When I'm given an urban myth that involves Benjamin Franklin, because that is what the story goes. If you're like, the broom, where did it come from in America? Oh, Benjamin Franklin. And then some dude named Levi started making it. And then if you look a little further, you find out that maybe Jefferson Davis had some seeds of it in Virginia. Well, I wanted to go some more research, Google, and I ended up going Google, and all the way down the line of where in the world does all of this come from. Broom corn comes from Africa. Broom corn came with the Middle Passage. Benjamin Franklin didn't have nothing to do with it. This is not why, all right? Yes, in Europe, they were using brooms that were made out of anything and everything. But the broom as we know it today and the wonderful things come from a plant called broom corn that originated in Africa, went through the Mediterranean Middle Passage, ended up on a plantation in Virginia, and somehow we do believe I did do more research, that Thomas Jefferson indeed did play something into it. Benjamin Franklin, on the other hand, supposedly it's in this diary, but nobody has a copy of this diary, so we really can't go back and discuss it. All right, but what really got me when I went through on all of it and reading the little cute Eurocentric history of the broom and Benjamin Franklin, I was really dismayed because we need to give credit where credit's due. Is how I want to start this, and that's how come you're hearing this blah come out of my mouth before I start talking about histories of brooms, because brooms have a very large sweeping history in Africa, large sweeping history China, Asia, India, the British Isles, all right, and then it all came here to America. We do find there are some amazing commonalities when we're talking this global broom. We're also talking a global magic, and we're also talking synchronistic systems, meaning that they're using it the same way. These are different cultures, different civilizations who still think that you need to sweep out the bad energies to welcome in new, all right? Making sure that you sweep, certain ways. When we talk about sweeping magic is really good for cleansing. All right, I love to sweep out my corners, okay? And I'll only sweep out a corner if my front door is open, because that is part of that, oosh, get the energy, and out the door it goes, all right? Now, a lot of us modern witches with our pointy black hats, we were actually, how does the witches and pointy black hats come together? And that's where I did go find that reference too. Because as y'all know, I wanted to know about it. The first reference of witches flying on a broomstick was in 1543. All right, but modern broom making, as we know, or I'm talking about the use of the broom corn, 1797. And that was a farmer in Massachusetts named Levi Dickinson, okay? And that's really fascinating. And I thought that was pretty cool that this broom took on a whole new life of it. And one of the other notes that I came across as well was we have this Witches on Broomsticks in 1453. It was actually a reference to a male witch. Get you on that one. I bet you didn't see that coming either, did you? So, we have cleared up some myths. The actual broom corn itself came from Africa via the Middle Passage, Virginia, where it was introduced. The oldest known time a witch has been associated to a broom was in 1453, and the deception was of a male witch. So now that it flipped it all around for you and everything else, why use a broom? They are so effective in sitting space and cleansing space, both in and out. Symbolically sweeping your outside circle. All right, is a very beautiful ritual to do. The idea of sweeping out the old, on the night before a new moon, sweep out all the old so that way the new moon can welcome in the new. And yes, there's so many superstitions around brooms on should I have it bristle up, which of course you do want because it actually does help to keep your bristles more. If we keep it down, then they get mushed, and nobody likes mushy bristles. You know what I'm saying there. All right, if a broom falls, company's coming. If a broom falls, somebody's dead. If a broom falls, somebody's getting married. All right, I went down that rabbit hole too. What I found fascinating was I found contradicting myths, all right, on the uses of it. And ultimately, it is a cleansing and clearing tool. It is a tool that you can use to sweep out the energies energetically if you're wanting to get it over your head, sweep out the energies underneath you, around you, and of course, for house cleaning. My biggest takeaway from all of this was, like I said, it took me about an hour of doing some good research. Not just going to the main site and going, oh, this is what it's about. But instead, I got off onto one of the university sites. I ended up reading a paper that someone had presented, which was really fascinating, but it's like a dissertation on Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, the plantations and broom corn and how it came about. I ended up going down another rabbit hole on the 1453, the first reference to witches and brooms, and we used it for flying, which we still do. And getting past the layers of urban myth. And like I said, I don't want to call anyone out on this as much as I just want to remind everyone, including myself, that I've got to look deeper. I've got to get into it, the waters, and get down and understanding that our history is in so many ways very Eurocentric. And we need to be mindful of that, because that is not our truth. That is not the real story, all right? The real story is that what I talk about, that wonderful funky gumbo, these blendings of different things coming together and then creating something really, really amazing, okay? And I think the biggest thing we need to do is make sure that we really do know the history. We can cite our sources, all right? And then we're not out there just going with the flow on some urban myth. We're not out there, repeating colonialization stories designed to make some folks feel better and other folks completely disappear. Instead, we are going down those rabbit holes of finding the good information out and being able to stand there and now, hold that broom, hold that tool, whatever, or hold even that thought, but to hold it honestly. and to give honor, reverence, and respect to the true story. And that's part of connecting. I know now, after spending my hour of brooms, broom magic, broom history, when I go out there and sweep in my circle, I'm going to have a whole new connection. All right? And that's what it's about, is connecting with. All right? And to be mindful, not to pick up a book and read it and think that that's the end all, the true source. Not to go to a website, not to listen to a person, even me. Go fact check me, please. All right? But to go down these rabbit holes and finding our stories. They're still there. We just got to dig for them. And so I'm going to end this by saying, springtime. Time to sweep some magic, witches. Time to sweep. I love this little broom. I like to take brooms and hang them on the wall with little intentions and purposes to them. I just think brooms are an amazing thing. I don't know what it is about them, but springtime is the perfect time to dance with your broom, sweep with your broom, use it magically, and now you know some backstories on it so you can connect to it even deeper. And with that said, witches, get out there, fly those brooms, and as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and a bobo.